Namaste, this is Samta Auntie. In this video, we are going to practice how to conjugate the verb to go in Hindi in past tense. Let me say that again. We're going to be talking about how to conjugate to go in Hindi in past tense. Past tense means things that already happened. So we're going to be talking about things that already happened. So some examples in English are she went to school or I went to singing class. So see how we have the word went? That's the English verb. So that tells us that it already happened. So we're going to be doing the same thing, but in Hindi. Now the verb in English is to go. In Hindi, it's jana. Jana, okay? So in present tense, we would say, I go. Present continuous tense, I am going. Future tense, I will go. And past tense, I went. So take a look at the past tense one, I went. Isn't it completely different from the other three? It's totally different. The other three have the word go in them, but past tense doesn't. And the reason I'm pointing that out to you is because the same exact thing happens in Hindi. Again, the verb is jana. Present tense is मैं जाता हूँ for a boy or मैं जाती हूँ for a girl. So see how we have the root of jana in that sentence? Jata and jati. Present continuous, which is I am going, is मैं जा रहा हूँ or मैं जा रही हूँ. जा रहा हूँ is for a boy, जा रही हूँ is for a girl. But again, see, we have that ja in there. Okay, let's do future tense. I will go. मैं जाऊँगा for a boy or मैं जाऊँगी for a girl. So again, we have that root ja. But now let's take a look at past tense. Past tense would be I went. मैं गया. मैं गई. So now, doesn't past tense look completely different? There's no ja anywhere in there. It's totally different. So I just wanted to point that out to you because the same thing that we see in English, we see in Hindi. Okay, so what are the conjugations for jana in past tense? And remember, conjugations are just those endings that we add to the verb once we chop off the na. Once we chop off the na, we have to add new endings. So what are they for past tense? Well, first, for past tense, we have to remember that it depends on the sound that comes before the na. So look at these verbs. We have pardana and khanna, okay? So in pardana, we have a consonant before the na. A consonant is any letter of the alphabet that's not a vowel. So D, the letter D, is a consonant, pardna, okay? So whenever you have a consonant before the na for past tense conjugations, the conjugations are a, e, and a. So pardna would conjugate to parda, pardi, parde. Parda, pardi, parde, based on the three conjugations with that consonant before the na. Now let's look at khanna. Khanna ends with an a sound before the na. And the rules of Hindi tell us that if the verb ends with an a, e, or o before the na, then the conjugations are ya, yi, and ye. Kaya, kayi, kaye. Okay? That's the difference. So now let's look at the conjugations for to go in past tense. Gaya, gayi, gaye. Gaya, gayi, gaye. And that should make sense to you because we just looked at what the conjugations are, and khanna is the same as jana. There is an a sound before the na. So the conjugations are ya, yi, and ye, just like you see on the screen. Gaya, gai, and gaye. So now let's talk about whether this verb, jana, is a transitive verb or intransitive verb, okay? So how do we decide? We said that in order to decide, we have to ask two questions. Is there a who and is there a what? So if we have the sentence, I went or I went to school, is there a who? Yes, I. Is there a what? I went what? No, there's no what. There's a where. I went to school, but there's no what. So that means that this is an intransitive verb. This is an intransitive verb. Okay, so if it's intransitive, how do we say the subject pronouns? The subject pronouns for intransitive verbs in past tense are me, ap, vo, hum, and vo. These are the same subject pronouns that you learned for present tense and present continuous tense. Okay? So now if we want to do the sentence, she went to school, we know that to say she, we say vo, because we know that this verb is intransitive. And so now let's put it together. She went to school. We want to do this sentence. Wo school gayi. Wo school gayi. He went to school. Wo school gaya. Wo school gaya. I went to school. Main school gayi. And we did gayi here because look at the picture. It's a lady talking. Main school gayi. And I went to school, and this is a boy. Main school gaya. Main school gaya. All right. And now for some bonus content, let's ask the question in Hindi, totally unrelated, but just some bonus content. What did you do today? How do we say that in Hindi? What did you do today? Aaj kya kya kiya? Aaj kya kya kiya? What'd you do today? Okay, this is a very informal way to ask the question. Aaj kya kya kiya? Aaj means today. Kya means what. And kiya is the verb do. Aaj kya kya kiya? Say it with me. Aaj kya kya kiya? Very good. Now let's go back to our verbs. I went to school for this girl. Let's see if you remember it. मैं स्कूल गई. मैं स्कूल गई. And one more for the boy. I went to school. मैं स्कूल गया. मैं स्कूल गया. Great work. Now you know how to conjugate the verb to go in past tense. You also learned how to ask someone, what'd you do today? All right, great work. Dhanyavad for joining me. I'll see you in class.